So let's not chit chat for too long. You can see from the title of this video that this is going to be how I do my foundation, my contour, my highlight, and my blush. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to cover. So I am bare naked on my face right now. You can see my big old pimple, and I'm just going to show you how I fix all this. First thing I have to do is use my moisturizer, and this is the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. I've talked about this before, and it's my absolute favorite. Now I'm going to cover all of my little blemishes and imperfections. So for that, I'm using the NYX concealer in a jar. It's the Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer. I picked this up last year at IMATS. It just looks like that. I don't use this a lot, but when I do have like some spots I need to cover up, like that one, I have a few on my chin, I really like using a full coverage concealer. So I just use my finger and just dab it on. This is the lightest color of it that you can get, but I'm really pale, so it works out. My blemishes with my full coverage concealer. For my under eyes, I'm going to use a less thick, like a creamier one, I guess, and I'm using the Rimmel Match Perfection concealer. This is in the color Fair. I believe this is also the lightest one, and this one is a little bit lighter than my skin tone, but I like to use under my eyes, so it kind of brightens up everything while it hides these bags. Then I can move on to my foundation, and my favorite foundation is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation. Looks like this. You've all seen it, you've all heard me talk about it before. I'm in the color Soft Ivory, Classic Ivory, and 1-2, so I am a neutral. And with this, when I'm looking for a little bit more coverage, I usually use like 2 pumps. That's what I'm going to use today, just for the sake of this video. If I'm in kind of a rush, I'll use 1 or whatever. So just putting it on the back of my hand, like 1.5. I don't even really use 2, and then just wipe off the extra. Now I like to take my finger and just dot this all over my face first. And then once that is evenly distributed and dotted all over my face, my favorite brush to use with this foundation is my e.l.f. powder brush, and you can find these at Target, on the e.l.f. website, whatever. It's just a flat top, really nice, dense synthetic brush, so it really does work good to even everything out. So first I like to pat in the makeup all over my face and kind of get it distributed, and then do circular motions and buff it out. To drag it down past my jawline and blend it in with my neck, because you don't want to have that line and look crazy. Now that the foundation is all done, we have to set it to make sure it lasts all day, and I like to use a loose translucent powder for this, even though this is kind of colored, but mine is the MAC translucent powder. What's it really called? Select Sheer / Loose Translucent Powder, but it is by MAC, and mine is in the color NC30. You can see, like, that's kind of, I know it looks like a lot darker than me, but it's translucent, so it doesn't come up that pigmented. It has like the little holes that you pop it out of, and I just like to kind of tap it into the lid and just get a little bit And then I use my BH Cosmetics, I think this is a powder brush. It's not labeled or numbered or anything, but it's just like a big, loose, fluffy brush, and just swirl it all around, tap off the excess. And I like to press this into my skin first, and then again I kind of buff it out, and then you just kind of go crazy with it. Okay, so now my face is set and matted out, and it's going to last me a while. And now I will show you how I contour. The brush I use to contour is just this little angled face brush, and it's the brand Face Secrets. I got this at Sally's when I first started wearing makeup, and I had no idea what brushes are really used for. So that was a while ago, but this is it's always worked really well for me for a bunch of different things, and I really like it to contour. So I then use the NYX matte bronzer. I've mentioned this 1,000 million times. It's my favorite bronzer ever because it is matte. I don't like shimmer. It is in the color Light. Just looks like that. So, you know, contour. Just get a little on your brush. You want to start off with less because less is more, and you can keep building up. I learned that the hard way when I first started contouring. And how I like to judge, I mean, you can do the whole fish face thing and just kind of put it right in the hollows. But when I do that, I tend to make it lower than it actually should be. I don't know. So I like to kind of look where the top of my ear is. And if you feel from down there, you'll feel where your bone is, and that it should be right underneath there. So I always start from where the top of my ear is, and it should be darker towards the back. So you want to start back and bring it forward. And I just kind of do little jiggly motions. And I never bring it in past the middle of my cheek. I don't want to bring it too close to my mouth. I mean, if you like to do it like that, more power to you. It's just not how I like to do it, that's all. Then I like to add a little bit up on my forehead and kind of bring it down along my hairline and connect it. Just kind of gives your face some more bronze, the sun hit it there, thinning it out, tighter, more precise look, I don't know. So just put a little tiny bit up there. Then I like to contour underneath my jawline just to add that little bit of shadow. Now for blush, I just grabbed what's been my favorite lately, and that is the MAC blush from the Archie's Girl collection in Cream Soda. So it's just a nice, natural peachish color. And I just like to use my BH Cosmetics blush brush for this. So it's just it's basically the same thing that I use for my translucent powder, just smaller. So how I like to put on my blush is, I kind of pack it on. I like a lot of blush, and I smile, put on the apples of my cheeks, and kind of brush it back all the way back to my hairline, and I blend it in where my contour meets as well, so kind of just all flows together. Okay, and now the very last step for my face routine is my highlight. I really like using the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in the color Soft and Gentle. It is just gorgeous highlight, a nice bronzy gold color, and just really illuminates anywhere that you put it. And I use this e.l.f. Professional Bronzing Brush, it's called. But I like to use this as my highlight. It's just a little tiny angled brush, and I just like to get some of that on, actually a lot. I like a lot of highlighter, so that's my problem. And I like to put this on the top of my cheekbone, so right above where I put my blush, right there. I take it up above my eyebrows, and I also put it down my nose, on my cupid's bow, and a little bit on my chin. So I will show you now. highlighter, and I don't know if it really shows up on camera. When I watch tutorials and everything, I never can notice when people put on highlighter, but if you've never used highlighter, it's seriously, in person, it's just so beautiful. And I used highlighter before I even used like contour, bronzer, or blush or anything. Like, I always wore highlighter, and I just love it, especially the MAC Soft and Gentle. Okay, so I just went ahead and finished the rest of my makeup. I did my everyday eye look, and if you're wondering how I do my everyday eyes, this video will be up in a few days. I actually just filmed it, so be on the lookout for that. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comment section, and please remember to thumbs up this video if you liked it, and please subscribe if you're watching this and you haven't done so already. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye! Mwah!